Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be placing the Brick Cross train station.
So the thing about placing modular buildings, specifically train stations, is, well, it creates the domino effect. So there's going to be some serious changes that have to happen to the downtown core here in order to accommodate the Brick Cross train station. I did make a video discussing the options for placing this set, and I came up with a theory that I don't think it belongs in the amusement park. We can put some other style of train station there. I think that one more so belongs in the downtown core. But at the end of the downtown core here, between the two sections, we have the Studgate train station. And then the train starts going up, and it's also beside a road, so it can't really go here. Of course, that train has to go over this canal here, and I think that bridge looks pretty cool. Then it starts to come back down, and eventually this train track transitions into the countryside, where I don't think that train station belongs. I don't think it's going to look good in the countryside. I don't think it really makes a whole lot of sense. So the options are quite limited. It can go over here by the beach, in front of the zoo, or it can go on this small segment of track right here. It would fit because that train station is 1.5 base plates, and this just happens to be 1.5 base plates as well. So there's two different options. We can put it where this really cool double-decker bus is, but there's a road plate there. Or we can put it on the other side where we have the mini modular buildings. But there's mini modular buildings there and also a beach, so I would have to reshuffle the entire beach in order to put the train station right there. I'm more so leaning toward reshuffling the entire section, or this section of the downtown core, to accommodate that train station. There's a lot of road here. There's some open base plates. So I think we have the flexibility of changing up this area in the city.
You know, I enjoy rearranging the Lego city. I think it's just so cool. First thing I've got to do is strip down the roads by removing all of the vehicles, traffic lights, and some of the minifigures that can move around, specifically the ones in the bicycle lanes, wheelchairs, all that stuff. Because now it's going to be easy to take those modular buildings, get them out of there, and then start to remove some of the roads. Because with the new layout, there's actually going to be less roads, which is good. Less roads, more buildings, or more park area is a good thing, but I still don't know exactly what that layout is going to be. So the first thing I do is remove pretty much all the roads and then try and come up with a new layout, because whenever I build a Lego city, I always start with the road grid, and that grid is just locked together with the tiles. I don't use pins, and then the buildings are actually just free floating within the grid. Now I know I have to move that curve, and it was actually built into a 48 by 48 plate, and it was right up against the train track. And I'm actually going to move that over. So I have to rebuild that curve there and then reconfigure a bunch of different roads to try and accommodate this new layout. Because whenever you make a change, once again, it's the domino effect. A whole bunch of other things have to change as well. But you can see the reduced road. I think that's great. And we've got two blocks that are open for the taking there. One which is pretty big in the center, and then the other which is just that strip where the train station is going to go.
It's rather interesting because I've got 3 base plates in the center here. It's actually 3 by 3, so a total of 9 base plates. And then there is a half base plate connector right there that connects to the sidewalk leading up to the canal. There's lots of different ways that I could position buildings in this area, and what I was originally thinking is putting a corner building here, another corner building here, that's how the sidewalk would be, like that, and then straight, 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 facing inward, and we could have like a really nice flower garden park in the center. That would be really cool. We don't really have anything like it in the city. Well, I guess we sort of do. We have the Central Park and then also the fountains beside Central Park. But I think maybe like a big open space like that, a little more colorful than dark bluish gray road, would look pretty cool, because of course we have the Central Park and then we have the farmers market, and I think really fun areas like that look really neat. The issue with that idea is when you look from this side, you're going to see the backs of modular buildings. And honestly, the backs of modular buildings don't look that good. That's why I always try to group my buildings together like this. Even if it's like a newer modular building or an older one, just the backs, they don't look that good at all. Plus, for the most part, the buildings go right up against the edge of the base plate, so there's not going to be a huge amount of space for sidewalk, especially if there's a bicycle lane there. So that was my original idea, and I think the fact that the backs would be there and there'd be a lack of sidewalk up against the bicycle lane has sort of deflated that idea, unfortunately. There is enough space here for the train station. It's 1.5 base plates. Why isn't it placed right now? Oh, that's because Mrs. Bricksie's actually upstairs building it right now. Figured we would get a head start on what we're gonna do in regards to placing it while she finishes off the build. So lucky her, right? But hey, lucky me, I'm also the one figured out how we're gonna place it in the city. But I did just place the hospital back there because it is a corner build and I can modify it so this sidewalk is more complete rather than being a pull through for an ambulance, and it could sit there next to the train station. It's going to be hard to visualize until the train station is actually placed there. Of course, I did move that curve over here, and this could just be some open space, maybe a nice grassed area or a little park or some benches right beside the train station. I think that makes sense. Or if I really wanted to, I could put a couple parking stalls there so you can park and ride. Another option that I have for this area is to just continue the buildings in a straight line along here, and then a corner, straight line along there, a corner, straight line along there, and connecting with that. That's gonna leave 2 base plates in the center where we could put like a concealed park area behind the modular buildings. So that might be pretty cool because then we have buildings facing all 4 directions and a hidden gem park in the center. And some of the modular buildings, and we'd have to make sure that these ones are placed there or just leave space for a walkway going to that park. But some of them actually have little cut throughs. For example, the detective's office, you can see a little cut through there. So it'd be cool if like the detective's office was there because then people could access that park through that little archway. And I think there's a couple others like that as well. Or of course I could just get rid of a half base plate somewhere, like leave a half base plate open and then space it out so there's a walkway to the park from the sidewalk. That would probably make a more grand open entrance to the park. I'm sort of leaning toward that now. My original idea was to have this really neat park in the center like I was discussing there, but I just don't like looking at the backs of buildings. And I've always been that way, and I've always tried to tailor my layouts to accommodate that concept because I just don't like looking at the backs of them. Like look at the back of the corner garage. It drives me nuts. I don't like looking at that big wall. Like I don't want to see that. And I don't like narrow sidewalks either. How's the build going?
It's good.
Yeah? Looks
Good
awesome.
little build.
Look at that bench. That's cool with the grills. And the awning, turquoise and black. The railing up there. Gold windows, black frames. Oh, it's got like a big gated door right here too.
Yeah, it's a cool door.
Oh. So you can close it up for the evening when there's no trains running. You remember to do that every night, eh? We're gonna close up the train station. We don't want any minifigures wandering in there.
Yeah.
You know, when they're not supposed to be in there. She's serving some waffles. She's like Donkey from Shrek. See what I did there?
I did.
You like that? Oh, I got all the references, don't I? Swing open doors on the side for placing minifigures and stuff. That's clever. I like that. And it's end of dark ages, and it's like a restaurant that serves beverages. That's funny. Pretty cool handrail there too. I like the way the stairs were built. Pretty cool way to dress up just like your prefabbed staircase element. It's got like the 1x1 modified plates with the clips, and then just some tiles and some brackets up the side of the stairs too. It's coming along nicely. How many more bags you got, Jose? Bag 13 is next.
13 of, I think there's 16, but I already, like the roof is already built.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was 17 or not.
Beauty.
I don't know.
So it's 11:30 it looks like, and I'm assuming we're gonna be done this within an hour. Now this is clever. Look at the destination. Studgate, Pick-a-Brick, Sand Green, Studdington. But that Studgate is really cool because it's referring to the other train station that we have in the Lego City. I love that. Maybe what we'll have to do is when we build more train stations in the city, and there's like subway stops and stuff, we'll call them these names: Sand Green, Pick a Brick, all that. Now that would be storytelling at its finest.
So now I'm going to start moving some modular buildings around. I was thinking the construction site might be pretty cool here because it is a corner. It does offer some height and it does look good for 360 degrees, so it doesn't matter if the back is exposed. But that didn't really work out, so I got it out of there and I moved on to the next one, which was actually going to be the corner garage. And of course, I've got to replace Assembly Square and the Jazz Club back in here. There's another corner, which is the Grand Emporium, another magnificent modular building. And I was like, okay, maybe that needs to go over here as well because I need to free up some corner positions for that double corner boutique hotel. This is a pretty hard space to work with because it's 3x3 base plates. That corner garage is pretty tall. Same with the Grand Emporium because I actually added additional floors. And I was like, okay, I got to group tall buildings together. Why not bring that massive police station, which is also a customized modular building over here too? And I think all those tall buildings grouped together actually looks pretty cool.
Introducing the Brick Cross train station, established in 1958. I like that touch. Matches some of the other modular buildings. We've got some newspapers in the front window of Newsbrick. Over here, it's Dark Ages, a singer out front, right by the bus stop there. Little side entrance there as well. A nice garden on that spiked fence. And you can see there's actually some seating up top there as well. And this roof is super cool. Look at that, so neat. Interesting shape, built with Technic pieces. And that's how you access that rooftop or like upper floor with the nice curved glass windows. Love the shape of it. It does seem pretty small when you compare it to some of the other modular buildings, but I think it looks brilliant. Like, it is amazing. You've got your sign back there above the piano. One thing I will say is we've got this track that's clipped in place there, and it's like right up against the station, or right up against the platform, which is right on the edge of the plate. Whereas my track is like a standard base plate or a half base plate, and there's 4 studs on either side. So this is going to have to be extended out to accommodate my track. I'm not willing to make some weird like flex curve in the track to come here or to get closer to the actual platform. So I'll definitely be changing that up. And there is a ticket stand right back there with 4 print pieces, also a sticker element on the wall there, some more vegetation. And this balcony extends around so that we can access the roof of this building as well, or the second floor, sorry. Roof doesn't come off. I'm so used to the roofs coming off. I tried to pull it off, but I forgot that it swings right open like that. And inside, we've got like a little kitchen. And down here is just another shop, which of course is Newsbrick. So yeah, it's pretty neat, but it's gonna require some changes to be placed in the city. And I need to decide whether or not we're gonna be changing all of these tiles to light bluish gray, and if I'm going to do that to the stairs as well, the stairs I guess will probably remain the same, but if this is to match in with my city, I'd have to swap up all of these tiles to light bluish gray. But yeah, brilliant looking set. It looks beautiful. So here we have it placed in the Lego City. The end of this street here, just around the bend. The massive City Press police station and donut cafe beside the corner garage. The hospital on the corner there, and then the train station right here. You can see what I mean though, all these massive buildings that I moved over here sort of tower over it. But I think that's all right. I made the decision to bring the tall buildings over here just because I thought it made more sense to bring them over here, specifically because I wanted to free up a spot for the double corner boutique hotel, which used to be on the end of the street here, but there's not really a good spot for it because this is actually 3 base plates deep. So I had to move 2 corner buildings that were side by side over there to make space for the boutique hotel, and it's probably going to sit right here, which sort of makes sense because it's right by the canal and the Central Park and the town hall. So right in the heart of downtown. I think this looks good. However, there are the 2 base plates in the center which would have to be developed. And as you can see, I left half base plate open right there beside the assembly square, and then I put the Jazz Club on the end of the street. There's still a bunch of modifications that have to be made. I have to fill in these half base plates, blend in the raised areas on the platform there, fix up this road plate. It should not be a T, it should be a curve, and there should be a pull-in for the hospital. I've also got to fix up the hospital, put that sidewalk in there. You'll see an exposed tan base plate around that bend, so I've got to fill that in. I got to connect these sidewalks along here, fill this in with green, and then I've got to fix up these road plates because there's no pull-ins, because I left the pull-ins over here in front of the boutique hotel, which no longer makes sense. So there's still a bunch of things that have to be fixed up, and that's what Mrs. Bricksie and I are going to do next. Okay, so we've got a standard curve with no zebra. The interior curve is for the bicycle lane, and then the standard exterior there with the wedge plates. Fixed up this one here. It used to have the corner garage pull-in, so that's no longer the case, and extracted that, put it where it belonged. And then I made this weird curve right here, and this is for the ambulance pull-in. So it's a curve, but then the ambulance can pull into the hospital right there. And I just extended it using bricks. Those come right off the road extender. You can see they're all attached. I fired up the train because I was pretty excited about it going right by the new train station there. And I didn't check the track all the way around, and it turns out I placed a base plate, just like that. So that's not ideal. Not an ideal situation there. It went smash. No. Okay, let's see how take two is here. Oh my gosh, this thing has just derailed so many times and been like just thrashed around. I don't even think I built it right, to tell you the truth. I think I just put it back together how I thought it would be, and now it's derailed a little bit there. Let's try and fix it while we're moving. There we go. Okay, sweet. Everything all good? Oh, this one's doing a grind too. There we go. Okay, now we're good. But yeah, you can see the front one doesn't really match the back one right now, but either way, we got it operational. I gotta go get my kids from daycare, so didn't want to whip out an instruction manual and try and fix it up right now. Oh no, it collides a little bit there. Okay, so the nose collides a little bit. I'll have to shorten this by 1 brick, but what I did was just expand it by 3 bricks. I also put some modified bricks with the forward-facing stud in there so we can pose minifigures further out on the platform, but I'll have to reduce it by maybe 1 plate or 2 plates, or just reduce it on the end there where the nose collides with it as it goes around the corner. But all of these roads have been fixed up. So you saw those roads, we placed them. They look pretty good. We also fixed up the elevated platform right there. However, currently out of the 1x4 arches, so we don't have any more of those right now, so I was unable to complete the guardrail so it matches in front of the Jazz Club. But then all the other roads have been fixed up and placed as well. So I think that looks pretty cool. And I love seeing the train zip by this new train station here. It looks like it's just gonna make it, doesn't it? That's truly unfortunate. We set up the minifigures and everything around the hospital, and I also fixed up the hospital sidewalk there. So this now has a little sidewalk there, so it doesn't look like the road is driving into the, or the pull-in is driving into the train station. And I think this layout looks pretty cool. Like, you get some really neat POV shots with the big tall buildings here in the train station. I also added the grass in there for now, and just nose plated it with green to represent grass, just to fill in that space. And we've got a lot of open space now. We've got the half base plate right there beside the Jazz Club, the 2 base plates in there on reserve, and there's 2 base plates over here behind the boutique hotel double corner, and all of this space in front of the Bricksie land entrance. And because we moved the police station and its counterparts from this block, it actually opened up 2 base plates right there as well. So yeah, that sort of works out. Pretty happy with it. What do you think of the placement of the train station? Was that the right call? We didn't really have very many options, and I think that was the better of the two solutions. Of course, the other solution was moving the entire beach, just reshuffling everything and putting the train station on the other side. But I think it makes more sense here in the downtown area. Pretty happy with another successful day in the Lego City. Glad that we were able to finish building the Brick Cross train station and place it in one of the only spots where it could go. Right on. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff. Farewell.